Hey guys, I'm back again talking about Sadako's Invisibility. Now I know what you're thinking, surely that 8-minute video was more than enough time to talk about everything this ability has to offer, and I thought so too, but it turns out it's even more broken than I thought it was before. If you want to know how it works, go to that video, I'll link it in the description or in the comment. The too long didn't give a shit version is while you're demanifested, what you see as a killer is not what you see as a survivor, so I explain how to fix it and the exact timing. But a comment on that video said what I thought as well, and it got me digging a little deeper. This comment explained how they believe the issue came from 3.0 Sadako, where they buffed her demanifestation invisibility, and this is what I thought too. I just didn't go into it. So here we have the official patch notes for the rework from Behavior's official forum. I'll link this in the description as well, or I'll link it in the comments so you can see it for yourself. And as we can see quite clearly here, increase demanifested state invisibility duration from 1 to 1.2 seconds. So it used to be 1 second of invisibility. I know it's gone to 1.2 seconds, apparently. But this is not the case at all. Okay. Now I know what you're thinking, what the fuck are all these numbers? What did I just watch? Please make it make sense. So don't worry, we're going to pop into Sony Vegas just like we did before, and I'll fully explain everything for you. So here we are back in Sony Vegas. Now, I have got the perspective from the survivor, and I have the perspective from the killer. We're not going to sync them up because there's no need to for this demonstration, but 1.2 seconds of invisibility could mean two things. It could mean 1.2 seconds from when you are completely invisible to when you begin to show, or it could be 1.2 seconds from when you begin to turn invisible to when you've completely shown yourself from beginning to turn invisible from demanifestation. And we've done the survivor and we've done the killer's perspective just so we can see if any of them actually measure up to 1.2 seconds. Spoiler alert, they don't. Now what you're going to see is two different timers. Now the one on the right is the timer starting from when the frame you begin to turn invisible to the frame where you're completely visible. And this one on the left is the frame from when you are completely invisible to when you begin to become visible. So here we are, this is from when we start to go invisible. And what you can see right here, I don't know if that's coming through particularly well, but if we zoom right in here, we can see that there's a little bit of black that disappears here. That means I'm completely invisible because my hair was slightly visible. As you can see, there's my hair. So if we go here, we're still slightly visible. If we look at this little hole, you can see that's my hair. I start to come back in. If we keep going forward a little bit, the hair disappears. So it's gone there. You can see the frame, which it completely disappears. We're gone. And that's the frame when the timer begins. And then the frame when we are reappearing, you can tell by the scan lines. So we've got the frame that we begin to appear. If we go back one, you can see we're completely disappearing here. So these little like glitchy effects, that's us beginning to appear. If we look at both these times, again, this one on the left is the time in which we are completely invisible, is 0.734 seconds. Now, it's supposed to be 1.2 seconds. The old time was apparently 1 second, so it's not even matching up to the old time. So not only do we not have the buff, we don't even have what it's supposed to be to begin with. And if we're going off how long we are actually beginning to demanifest for, that's 1.8 seconds. So that doesn't make sense either. But hey, maybe it's from the killer's perspective, because, you know, Behavior forgot to sync it up. And I thought that too, so we went into the killer's perspective again. The numbers are at the top just so they don't cover your hands, because it makes it easier to line it up. Again, the top number is when we begin to demanifest, as you can see. When we begin to demanifest, it like glitches out on a hand here and over here and such. Oh, there it is, it begins to glitch, so we're not demanifesting here. The frame we do, it comes out a little bit. So that's the frame in which the timer for when we begin to demanifest is. And when we're talking about the frame in which we have fully appeared, if we scroll in a bit, we can actually see the exact frame. And then we go here. As we can see, there is like dots here. That shows that we're slightly invisible still. We're not really, but the game thinks we are. And then we're fully visible. So that's when that timer on the right ends. And then if we go to the left timer, this is when we're completely invisible. The way that you can tell this, the zoom in works properly.
Dog shit.
If you look here on the left, we can see some dots appearing and disappearing. So here, these dots represent our hand. So they're going, and then from this frame, they've gone. Now, these dots are always going to be here, these ones that you can see right there. But the ones before, as you can see, a little few dots. So this is the frame when we're completely invisible. It's actually the next frame over. So we drop that, so we increase it a bit. And then a frame in which we begin to appear. If we zoom out, and we zoom into the chair over here, what you will notice is these dots again, they start to appear. So we're beginning to manifest and we can be seen. Again, these dots are always there, doesn't matter, ignore that dot, it's just these dots. So, those are the frames in which those are, so you know that they're legit. And yet, we are invisible for 0.7 seconds, that's when we're completely invisible. And when we begin to go invisible, and when we're fully visible, it's 1.5 seconds. So no matter which way you look at it, it doesn't matter if it's from the killer's perspective, it doesn't matter if it's from the survivors, it doesn't matter if we're measuring it from the time we're completely invisible to the time where we begin to turn invisible and then we are fully visible. Neither of the times match up to either of the values that they're supposed to be at. It doesn't match up to the new 1.2 seconds, nor does it match up to the old 1 second. So her entire ability right now is just completely fucked. It's out of sync, it's not the right time, and quite frankly, I don't know what the fuck behavior are doing over there, but they need to sort this shit out. Because it's not even close. In fact, I will put up a calculation on the screen of just how far out of sync it is for complete and total invisibility. So we want to find the percentage Nerfed is. We'll be doing this calculation from the survivor's perspective because that's all anyone should give a shit about. I don't care how long I'm invisible on my end, I want the invisibility on the survivor's end to actually match up. So we take the time we are actually invisible on the survivor's end, which is 0.734 seconds. We divide that time by the time we are meant to actually be invisible, which is 1.2 seconds according to behavior. We then times this number by 100, which will give us 61.17% rounded up. So 0.734 seconds is 61.17% of 1.2. But what we actually want is the percentage difference. So we do 100 minus 61.17%, which will give us 38.83%. That's right, we have a 38.83% nerf on this ability of what it should be.
Son of a bitch!
Now, I don't know about you, but that's a pretty fucking substantial nerf on what it's supposed to be. So thanks for that one, behavior. But I'm more interested in another thing. How much does Reiko's watch actually increase the invisibility, and does it make it even close to what it is supposed to be base kit? Let's have a look-see, shall we? Yep. Oh dear, that isn't looking very promising for behavior now, is it? Now, there is 2 times here, I did it twice. Do note that every time that I have timed this, it has varied ever so slightly. This is probably down to some user error, but don't worry, the amount of difference varying between the different times is really not enough to make it have this much of an impact of what it should be. So again, we're back in Vegas just to prove that I'm not doing anything sussy. Here's the frame in which I fully demanifest. Remember, I'm only doing it from when I'm fully invisible because that is what Reiko's watch describes the perk as doing. And if we go back, you can see the hair here. We'll zoom in. It's a little easier. So that's little Sadako disappearing, and we're fully gone. If you go to the frame before, as you can see, my hair's still visible. The difference between appearing and disappearing, and then right here. If we go back, go forward. Sorry, not back. Like I'd be invisible still, wanna. You can see VCR thing is me manifesting again. You can see it's a part of me. It is not a part of the TV. You can see down here because obviously there's little static bits around if you stood near a TV. And then for the second timer, again, I think we start back here, right? Yeah, we did. So let's zoom on in. And then we go forward. You can still see a bit of a hair here. Still a bit of an outline, as you can see between these two. You can clearly see there's like a little black bit appearing and disappearing. So, and then again, yeah, if you just look at this little point right there, see there's a little black pixel, and then it's fully disappeared, so we're completely invisible right now. And then we'll fast forward here, we appear like down here, and as we can see, this starts to distort from when we begin to appear. So Beat this us. And that's it, distorting promos. As you can see, if we go back, it's not distorting at all. And then poof, it's distorted because we're starting to manifest. So those are the times. Just to prove I haven't changed anything. We go here, see still 0.9. Starts at the same place right here. 0.1917. Same place. So yeah, that's Raiku's watch. That's right, guys. So it does actually increase the time which we're invisible, so it's not a completely useless add-on, but it doesn't even increase it to the point where it was supposed to be before the buff. Not only this, but this buff nerfed Raiku's watch because we got it partially base kit. So we've actually got a nerfed Raiku's watch with a nerfed base kit invisibility, so that when you combo Raiku's watch with her current base kit invisibility, it's actually worse than where it was before base kit. So can you fix this behaviour? That'd be quite nice. You've dumpstered her entire kit, can you at least give her the buff that you were supposed to give her?